Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast. We bring unique insight analysis behind your favorite teams at collegiate and professional levels. I'm your host, Chase Johns. Brady to the right, Matt's below. We're going to roll right into it. We're talking NFL Divisional Round preview for 2023. The first game of the day is on Saturday. It's going to be the Jaguars and the Chiefs, the 4-1, 4:30 p.m. on NBC and Peacock. I'll start with you, Brady. First off, how you doing? And what do you like in this game coming up on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. And in terms of who I like, I definitely like the Chiefs for sure. I think they have the advantage on most positions this game, and their past record in the playoffs have just proven to not really doubt against them too much.
All right. What do you like about the Jaguars in this, though, obviously, besides Trevor Lawrence?
I would like if he throws 4 picks in both halves this time.
Okay.
In terms of what, because Matt likes to say I love him, so I'll go ahead and try to prove him wrong a little bit. But anyway,
loves Trevor Lawrence. Really.
I like Evan Ingram. He used to suck, I feel like, in New York, but he's starting to catch the ball better, I feel like, and I think he could be a mismatch in this game, but not as much of a mismatch as Travis Kelce, obviously, on the other side.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Travis Kelce, one of the best tight end in football, I'd say. He's literally a glorified receiver. He's just so good with the football. Matt, what about this game? What really sticks out to you about this matchup on Saturday?
I think both offenses are going to probably play really well in this game. I think what sticks out to me the most, I think it's going to be high scoring. High 20s or low 30s maybe. Obviously, I'm leaning towards the Chiefs. I think it's hard to go against Mahomes in divisional round games. I mean, he's made so many AFC championships in a row. So I think I'm rolling with the Chiefs, and I expect a high scoring game for sure.
Yep. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has not lost a divisional round game since he's been in the National Football League. I think he's won 4 in a row, trying to make his 5th straight AFC championship and host his 5th straight AFC championship game. Has not played a road playoff game, and he will not play a road playoff game this year, regardless of where he finishes at in the playoffs. A matchup I want to watch in this before I give my pick. I actually want to watch Christian Kirk go against Chiefs rookie corner Trent McDuffie. Christian Kirk has had a really good year with the Jaguars. He has been Trevor Lawrence's security blanket overall. Obviously, they have Zay Jones. Evan Ingram's a really good one, too, at tight end. He's really played a receiver role as well. They've been, airing it out and just distributing the ball. But Christian Kirk, I remember he got paid $80-something million. Basically, everybody's like, oh, he robbed the Jaguars. But he's come on pretty well for them. I think he went for 1,000 yards this year. He's obviously very good route runner. He presents some matchup problems, and Trent McDuffie he's been fine this year. Had a good game against some guys like Jamar Chase. That's one that really sticks out in my mind. Played a decent game against them, but as a rookie, maybe Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to pick on him a bit and see what Christian Kirk can do on the outside and in the slot as well. And with my pick, I got the Chiefs. All right. That's not a surprise. 34-23. So, I think the Chiefs are going to put up points. I think the Jaguars defense is not going to be able to hold them to anything, under 30 at all. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be rolling. They had an extra week of rest. Travis Kelce is going to be a big involvement in the game. Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon, they're just going to be able to use too many guys to overwhelm this Jaguars defense. I do think Trevor Lawrence is going to play a good game. The Jags offense, they'll be flowing. Like Matt said, both these offenses are probably going to be getting in their grooves and stuff. The Chiefs defense is not good. They're not a good defense. That's their Achilles heel, and that's a big Achilles heel to have in January. So, I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I think they're just they're the better team, and they're just going to pose more matchup problems for the Jaguars on Saturday. So obviously, good Saturday afternoon game to look at. And we have a heck of an NFC East fight on Saturday night. The 6 seed Giants upset the Vikings last week. They're 10-7-1, taking on the 1 seed Eagles, 8:15 on Fox and Fox Deportes. Matt, you really like the Eagles. You had them as their pick to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. What do you expect from them Saturday night?
I expect a very good football game, actually. I think the Giants are going to play well. I think their last regular season matchup between them was a pretty close game, regardless of who was starting and who wasn't. But it's a divisional rival. I think it's going to be a close game. I think there won't be any panic on the Eagles side, I guess, throughout the game of if they'll be able to win it or not. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be in control of the game the whole time, but I foresee a very close game that the Eagles will never be completely in control of, but most people will think they've got some sort of handle on the game, if you will. So yeah. I'm taking the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
All right. Yeah, I mean, NFC East battles are kind of like AFC North. It's really, a lot of tough and grit on the inside when it comes to, both sides of the line of scrimmage. The Giants are a really old school, nasty football team, and the Eagles, obviously they can do it in every phase of the game, running the ball, passing the ball, stopping the run, and stopping the pass. Talk about these two cities going at it with each other. They do not like each other at all. Brady, what's something that you like in this game, especially with Daniel Jones, who had a good week last week on against the Vikings?
Well, yeah, I think I just like that it's a game between two rivals, so it could keep it interesting from that standpoint, and maybe make the Giants play a little bit better and have more of a will to win, even though they would either way because it's the playoffs. But I just think it could be an intense matchup between the two. And I think if the Giants can find a way to, first off, slow down A.J. Brown and get coverages on him that can confuse Jalen Hurts, I think that could really, really obviously help them defensively. And if they're able to stop the Eagles, I really do trust Daniel Jones more than I ever would have this year. I feel like he's played better this year than ever. So I just think that their defensive game plan is going to be pretty big in terms of stopping this Eagles offense.
Most definitely. And like you said, trusting Daniel Jones, I mean, he's played 11 games turnover-free football in the regular season. So just being able to sustain possessions and trying to, put the ball in the end zone, just trying to get points up on the board is going to be huge. And just not having him, have any lapses or anything like that to really foil the game plan overall. When I look at this game, I think it's going to be close, like I said, with the divisional matchup. Get to the pick in just a second. But a matchup I want to watch, it's no players on the field. It's guys with sheets in their hands. Eagles offensive coordinator Shane Steichen versus Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale through blitzes and some, coverages to confuse a lot of quarterbacks, like Brady was alluding to. Maybe they'll try to do some stuff with Jalen Hurts. It's going to be a little tougher with him being a running quarterback compared to Kirk Cousins being, just a straight drop back passer. But I think Wink Martindale, this is a game that he would really like to have because back in Baltimore, didn't really have a whole lot of opportunities to go into the divisional round and, try to, foil a masterful game plan in a division rival like this. Obviously played against Josh Allen and stuff like that in the playoffs and just did not work out. But I think Wink is going to, do a really good job of trying to dial up a great game plan and try to keep this thing close. And the Eagles with Shane Steichen and also Nick Sirianni, they run a lot of RPOs, but they run a lot of RPR, run pass run. They're, obviously reading the guys on the edge, throwing the ball. And then the third option, just run the football because they have a mobile guy like Jalen Hurts that's really able to do both. Second team All-Pro quarterback, has had a fantastic year even before the injury and everything. And the biggest concern is going to be, is Jalen Hurts going to look all right, coming off the injury, being off basically 2 out of, I'd say, 5 weeks ever since before Christmas. So that's going to be the biggest concern. But like said, like Matt said, and you guys said, I think the Eagles are going to win this game 24-19. Going to be a closer game than expected. The Giants lost to them the first time by like 20 something. And then it was a 6-point game the last time, which was only a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's going to get a point closer. I think it's going to really come down to the wire, actually. But I think the Eagles are going to make enough plays down the stretch to prevail in the end. So I like Eagles in that one. So the next game, this one's obviously going to hit home for a couple of us. The number 3 Bengals, 13-4, taking on the number 2 Bills, 14-3. What is something that you are looking at in this game, Matt? What do you like in it?
I think the number one key, the thing that's going to decide this game, is going to be how well either the Bengals protect Joe Burrow with the 3 offensive linemen that are out or however banged up they are on the offensive line. That's going to be number one. or number two, how quickly they can get the ball out of his hands. It's going to be on the offensive staff to come up with either a great protection plan or a great plan to be able to, quick screens, quick bubbles, quick hitches, all quick game stuff to get the ball out of Joe's hands so that he doesn't have to worry about Von Miller and the rest of that pass rush on the Bills. So that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most there. I do think the Bengals will win. I think it's going to be a really good game. It's going to be it might be the best playoff game we see all year. Might be the game of the year. Well, I don't know. We kind of got robbed of it with the unfortunate. I wouldn't say robbed because it was such an unfortunate event, but we were unlucky because we weren't able to watch it with the tragic DeMar Hamlin situation. So I'm excited to watch this game. I can't wait for it.
Most definitely. I mean, obviously, looking back at, the game that, they didn't get to finish back on January 2nd, obviously, we were so glad that DeMar Hamlin is in good spirits and he is healthy and everything. I think the entire nation is going to be a heavy game, a heavy emotional game for these players to play. And I think it's going to be a fantastic game with a fantastic finish, hopefully on, in the favor of the Bengals. But, I'll get to that in just a second. Brady, what do you like with the Bills and Josh Allen? Overall,
I just like their overall aggressiveness on offense. I feel like they are not afraid to really do anything. They chuck the ball almost every single play, and Josh Allen really just heaves that thing sometimes, and it doesn't even look like he's trying to do it. Like, Stephon Diggs will run down the field, have a step on a guy, and the ball is not getting underthrown. Like if he misses, he's missing deep. So. I really like their aggressiveness, and I just like overall. Obviously, Josh Allen's just a great player, and Stephon Diggs is one of the best receivers, probably in the whole NFL. Top 5 to 10 for sure, no doubt about that. Definitely closer to 5 than 10. Anyways, like I just really like watching them on offense for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, like what Matt was saying with the Bengals, they're going to have to come up with, honestly, I think a couple different game plans. It's going to really depend on if that offensive line, if a guy like Jackson Carman on the left side at left tackle is going to really hold up. And, if they're going to be able to do quick game, they're going to have to do quick game the entire game. And what Brady was saying, the Bills, they just effortlessly do it, especially on third down. Say it's like a 3rd and 8 or a 3rd and 10. They're backed up in their own territory and they find a one-on-one, which is still crazy that they're, some people are still going one-on-one with Stephon Diggs. And, they're just like, you know what, we'll just chuck it down there and try to have our guy make a play. And really it's a lot because Stephon Diggs with his speed and route running, he's able to really destroy these double teams. And that's what just separates you as a receiver. If you can destroy double teams, man, you are top 5 in the National Football League without a doubt. And he just does that countless times again and again and again. And it's just the factors that both of these offenses can be big time explosive play offenses, but the Bengals haven't done that this year because they, teams have been taking that away. And, they've been able to work underneath. They've been able to go quick game. They've been able to just, really milk a possession and put the ball in the end zone as well. And the Bills can do that. But the thing is with Josh Allen, his trigger, I think we saw it last week. Josh Allen had 3 fumbles. He threw 2 interceptions. He did some very costly things. They still end up winning the game. But he put the ball in harm's way so many times and got sacked 7 times, actually almost the same amount that Burrow got sacked last year against the Titans in the divisional round. Hopefully that doesn't happen from a fan's perspective on Sunday. The matchup I want to watch out for, obviously, talk about the Bengals offensive line, the Bills receivers and stuff like that. But it's Bills secondary versus Bengals wide receivers for me. So when I look at it, I think what the Bills are going to try to do is they're going to go on ahead and, in the first game you saw Tre'Davious White was lined up against Jamar Chase the first couple of plays that, that was actually played. But what I think is going to happen is they kind of saw, some mismatches here and there. I think they're going to double Jamar Chase and put Tre'Davious White on T. Higgins, which will allow a matchup size advantage on T. Higgins to try to get some jump balls and try to, kind of pick on Tre'Davious White. But Tre'Davious White, obviously, we know he can play at an all-pro level. He's coming off the ACL injury. So I think that's going to be a really big key there. They're going to double Jamar Chase. They're going to bracket him. They're going to, really limit, how deep he gets upfield, how the spacing amongst that, which is actually going to open up for Tyler Boyd over the middle against Taron Johnson. So I think this Bills secondary as a whole unit, they're going to have to be well structured and well sound because they're going to worry about 3 receivers and a tight end named Hayden Hurst is going to be going across the middle and sitting in zones, which means their linebackers are going to really have to go in there. So it's really pass game versus pass coverage. And with that being said, my pick is Bengals 30, Bills 27. I agree with Matt. This is going to be a fantastic game. I think all of the energy, the build-up energy, the emotion in this game, it's just there's no way this game doesn't go down to the last quarter, last possession, or something like that. And, what better than to have these two guys, Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, magicians with the football, just trying to go down and make a play to, help their team go on to a conference championship game. So, I mean, we're in for a fantastic slate of games, especially this one Sunday one that I'll be looking forward to as well. And man, the final game, number 5 Cowboys are taking on the number 2 49ers at 6:30 p.m. on Fox Deportes. Are we back in the 90s, man? Cowboys Niners football that's actually meaningful. This is crazy. Back-to-back postseason matchups for them. The Cowboys are rolling against the Bucks. The Niners got rolling in the second half. Brady, what do you like about the Niners offense and how Brock Purdy has been playing overall?
I think that he's been definitely better than Trey Lance would be doing, in my opinion. I feel like he's done a good job managing what he has around him and knowing that he's in a great situation. Like, he's in an unreal situation. So I'll definitely give him credit where credit is due. But this is like the dream for a rookie quarterback like him. Like, you got Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon. I mean, it's unreal. The O-line he has, I mean, he's set up in an unreal way, but also he's also playing very well too. He's keeping the football, in his team's hands. He's not really turning it over too much, and he's scoring points. He's putting up the points he needs to. So I've been impressed with him for sure. Definitely a potential option for them going into the future at quarterback. And definitely not a liability either, because you would think at the beginning of the year if Brock Purdy was in at quarterback for playoffs that was a problem, but it doesn't look like a problem to me. Definitely been solid enough to use the weapons around him for sure.
Most definitely. You talk about situation. He's had one of the best situations in the National Football League. You talk about him being able to elevate his play as well. I mean, obviously, he hasn't had been asked to do off-script things overall, but even when he has done off-script things, he has done really well with those, trying to find Christian McCaffrey and guys like Deebo Samuel overall. He's in a good situation, but when you're in a good situation, that's obviously more than likely going to raise your level of play and your level of awareness. And that's exactly what has gone on with Brock Purdy. If they move on with him as quarterback, that's very cost effective. They have a very cheap contract that they could really roll with him. And, they could make the Super Bowl, I mean, if they could just roll with him like that and not have to worry about restructuring a deal, all this stuff, they can keep him and a lot more guys that they already have tagged down for the next couple of years and everything. So the Niners are in a very good position trying to make the NFC Championship game. Now, Matt, about the Cowboys, they beat the Bucks, handled them on Monday night. Dak Prescott looked very, very good. I know they were, playing an 8-9 football team, but he looked very, very good against a Tom Brady-led Bucks team and the Bucks defense that just did not look up to par. What do you think the key to success will be for the Cowboys against the stingy Niners defense on Sunday?
Stingy Niners defense. It is a stingy Niners defense. I think the balance on offense is really important for the Cowboys with Pollard and Zeke. They got to get one or both of them going, and I believe they will. I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. I think they're going to pull the upset. Wow. I think they have enough offense. I think Dak is playing really well. Now, they had the stinker a couple weeks ago against Washington.
Yep.
However, going down there and playing that well on the road, I mean, Dallas hasn't won a playoff game since '92. On the road, I'm sorry.
Yep.
So I was really, really shocked. I thought the Cowboys would win. I didn't think. I was very shocked at how impressive it was. So I think the balance on offense, running the ball, is just going to help Dak be more comfortable and get the ball out to his skill position guys. So I am going to take the Cowboys. And then on the other side of the ball, though, I think the biggest key to this game is I think Brock Purdy is going to make a few mistakes in this game. Personally, I think just being a young quarterback, I think finally the Dallas defense got after it a little bit against Tampa Bay. I think you see the defensive line really kind of get after Purdy and force him to make some critical errors in this game.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Brock Purdy has played turnover-free football the entire time.
Yes,
yeah. It's just, but obviously, sometime it's probably going to run it. It's bound to happen, and it's bound to happen against a guy like Dan Quinn, who's running that defense. He's going to get a head coaching job. He should get a head coaching job this offseason. But the Dallas defense, when they turn it up a notch and they get up to that elite level, the Cowboys are really hard to beat. Talking about balanced offense, but as a balanced team in general, elite defense for the Cowboys is obviously, going to set them apart to try to get them easier positions and possessions to win this football game. I like what you said about their offense too. Tony Pollard gets going, Zeke gets going in the short yardage game. Pollard just, just every which way they can use him in the run and pass game, and it really keeps the defense honest, but it also keeps Dak honest as well. It gives him confidence. There's going to be wide open guys running. There's going to be play action that they can do off of a strong running game. They're hitting tight ends with no names that we don't even know who they are. They were hitting random guys all over the place. Obviously, Dalton Schultz had a 2-touchdown game, but they're hitting guys like that. They're hitting Noah Brown, CeeDee Lamb, their 1,300-yard receiver. So they're, Dak just looks so comfortable against the Bucs. I highly doubt he's going to look super comfortable, as comfortable as he did, obviously against the Niners. But if the Cowboys can hold up on the offensive lines, this game's going to be one in the trenches, both sides of the ball. But I will say, when you bring up the defense, the matchup I want to watch is actually not going to be involving with Nick Bosa. The matchup is actually right tackle Mike McGlinchey of the 49ers versus Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons. I think if Micah Parsons is able to kind of make McGlinchey kind of go lateral, move lateral and stuff like that, because Micah Parsons can beat you any which way, but especially lateral. For a big guy like McGlinchey, I think Micah Parsons can force a guy like Brock Purdy to piss down his leg. And that's where you'll see a turnover or two maybe happen. Maybe a tip ball, maybe a strip sack, a hard hit that kind of makes Brock Purdy kind of second guess, trying to roll out this way or just really stand firm in the pocket. So, I think, Micah Parsons is going to have to go from just a very, very good as he's been lately. He's going to have to go to elite status on every single play because that man's motor is absolutely ridiculous, being a linebacker, defensive end, or whatever the hell position you want to call him. But with that being said, my pick, I just think the Niners are a little bit better of a football team. The Cowboys,
come on.
Cowboys. God damn you. Man, I mean, I think it's going to be a fantastic game to end off the night. The Niners 38, Cowboys 31. I think Dak's going to play really well. I think Brock Purdy will have a couple of turnovers. This is really what's going to put them in this game. But the thing with the Niners is this. If Brock Purdy's getting the ball out to his receivers, they're playmakers, all right? They're not just receivers that's going to catch the ball and just, our quarterback's throwing us open. We're just going to catch the ball and get out of bounds. These guys are playmakers. Deebo Samuel can catch a 5-yard slant, take it 70 yards to the house. George Kittle can take a 10-yard out route and take it 50 yards down the field. Christian McCaffrey, well, when he's healthy, he's Christian McCaffrey. We know what he is. So I think, I think there's just going to be enough plays like that for Brock Purdy to get the ball to his playmakers, and I think they're going to win, and they're going to, escape this game pretty narrowly, 38-31 over the Cowboys. So, I mean, we have a heck of a list of games on the docket this week. You guys got anything else you guys want to say about any games, anything coming up, overall? Brady, Matt, what do you guys got?
I'm actually really excited for, honestly, the Cowboys-Niners game is one of the coolest. I mean, obviously that game and the Bengals game are the best too. But I'm excited for both of those. But this game is just two franchises that are fun to look at and fun to. It's both. It's program and.
I mean, yeah. When you look at
it is. I'm just messing with you.
I know, but
they're prestigious. They're both prestigious.
But I like to watch these two teams in general because there's some teams where you just don't like to watch them. Like I'm gonna be honest, who likes watching the Giants? Nobody. But like Niners, they've always been a fine team to watch. Like, and same with the Cowboys. Like everyone will root for them to lose usually if you're not a fan of them. So it's fun to watch these two teams. So, and then these days, obviously, the Bengals and Bills game is really good as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's just because of how good these two teams are, in general, especially like this year and throughout the past couple of years. That'll be a fun one to watch, and just overall entertaining weekend. And then in terms of the Jaguars game, that game's decent. I just hope Trevor Lawrence throws the ball to the wrong team a few times.
Well, I think you've made that pretty clear overall. I'm trying to defy. Oh man, but Matt, what about you? Talking about Brady and Trevor Lawrence's love relationship right there. What are you looking forward to, especially this weekend?
I can't wait to watch Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase play another game.
Man, that's so simple, but it's so true. I cannot wait to watch.
Yeah, my two favorite players in the league.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take any of these times for granted watching these guys. Well, I think they're going to be here for a while, but I'm not going to take any of these times for granted. And for me, like, there's a really good storyline for every game this weekend. The Jaguars and Chiefs. It's Trevor Lawrence. Is he that fourth quarterback in there? Obviously, Justin Herbert last week. It could have been Herbert versus Mahomes, but Justin Herbert, lost Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence in there taking on Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the National Football League right now, walking into his house. That's obviously a big game. Tarico Collinsworth on the call. Giants Eagles is just the bloody NFC East battle that everyone wants to watch, a Saturday night football game that you're going to stay up for and everything. And Sunday, obviously the Bengals for personal reasons, and just the fact, the story that they didn't get to finish that game. Now they're out there in the playoffs, and it's really, you could say this: these two quarterbacks are playing for who is the second best quarterback in the National Football League. Okay, like you could say that one way or another. That's kind of what I think about what this game's being played for. So just some personal there, but then obviously Niners Cowboys, like you said, Brady, prestigious franchise, prestigious program, whatever you want to call it. These two teams are some of the richest when it comes to Super Bowls, richest when it comes to the fan base, richest when it comes to money. So I mean, it's going to be an epic, monumental clash between these two teams to cap off divisional weekend. But man, I'm excited for it. I'm definitely excited to see if we could get together and watch a game or so. But with that being said, I'm Chase Shantz. That's Brady King, Matt Ricketts, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you, fellas.